Welcome back to the channel. This is a vlog with a difference because we're still coming out of lockdown in Scotland, but there's not a lot open that's entertainment wise. So a few Saturdays ago when it was absolutely stunning weather, Alan had an idea to get out and go for a drive, and we would go and investigate some of the millionaire houses that he's always admired online, and one of them's actually a control tower. Obviously, that's in our price range, so we're thinking, do we want that one? Do we want the other multi-million one? Not really. But it was really good to see what people do with these stunning houses. Obviously, you didn't go in, you were just looking at it from the outside. But you get to see the area they're in, especially in glorious weather. It looks really special. But you couldn't go very close to it. But wow, it did look very unusual. As I say, a modified control tower. So we got to see near it. It's in a beautiful location, but he'd always wanted to see what it was really like, if it was really isolated. I would say yes, it is quite isolated where it is, and it looks beautiful in the summer, but I don't know what it would be like in the winter. But it was really good fun to see what these places look like and basically how the other half lives. So while we were out and about, we were in Perth, which I've passed through but never really visited properly. It's very quaint, again, on a beautiful summer day. Everything just looks stunning. So it was very quaint, very villagey. Obviously, we only saw parts of it. The water was there, so just being able to see the water on a glorious day, see everybody walking about, enjoying themselves, soaking up the sunshine, you can't argue with that. That's just, especially in Scotland, when you see that, you just feel so happy and so up. Lovely little villagey roads, really nice scenery, very green, which is always a pleasure again in gorgeous weather. There was a park. If it hadn't have been so busy and you didn't have to socially distance, the park had an ice cream van. I would have been there in a heartbeat. And then when we were leaving and coming back to Glasgow, you were able to see Stirling Castle from the motorway quite clearly. And again, I've been to Stirling Castle, but I don't think for about 20 years. So that's, I should really see if I can visit Stirling and Edinburgh Castle again. And I'll never get fed up with the Scottish countryside because it's just beautiful. So the next thing we did that day, because as I say, no Edinburgh Festival this year, there is nothing really that you can go and see and be entertained by within reason. So we thought for a bit of fun, we would go to the furniture shops and just carrying on that idea of if you lived in the £1 million mansion, how would you furnish it? So here are some of the ideas. Obviously, it's not just Scotland. It's everywhere, but here are some of the ideas of interior decorating that are currently available here in Scotland. So some really nice finishing touches. I must admit, the furniture at the moment, it's all beautiful. I could honestly see me saying, yes, I'll have that. Yes, I'll have that. The lights, the chairs, the mirrors. I like all the words, the sort of neon words that you can buy for your walls as well. The lights are unbelievable. So many different shapes and sizes. Obviously, you can spend as much as you want, but it feels as if we're going through a really nice moment in interior design. And then we all managed to grab a little socially distanced bite to eat, it's always a nice thing to do. And just to get back out there and feel a little sense of normality. And obviously, me being me, I have to finish by showing you some of my latest chocolate of the day, my new finds, which are the limited edition salted caramel Twix. I can thoroughly recommend them, but they're absolutely tiny. So this is the element of where we went, a little wander, and I can honestly say it was just the tonic. The vlog where I don't really go anywhere continues with some updates of what I've been reading. The first one is purely because we're really happy that it happened. You know that we've got Eponymous website, and last week we actually had a feature of a product in You magazine. Love Sophie Ellis-Bextor. I was watching her kitchen discos throughout the lockdown. That was good. And then if you look here, it's a staycation fashion feature. And when you turn the page, oh look, it's us. It's one of the dresses that we have from Plan B. So that was really nice. We've been doing a lot of work with a London PR agency recently, and I've been learning a lot about how that side of the industry works. So I thought I'd show you that because that makes me feel good. And then the other thing is some books that I've been reading. So the first one I'll actually show you is, I've had this for well over 10 years, How to Become a Buddha in 5 Weeks. And sometimes when you fall into bad habits and you start to get very stressed and very anxious, I like to remind myself of some of the basic teachings. I'm in no way saying that I'm a Buddhist, but some of the teachings, when you actually break them down and think about it, they make so much sense. And I will refer to it when I feel that I've lost my way and I'm starting to get a bit stressed. But I've always got this page marked because I think it's so important to remember that you're not your thoughts. So what happens, just very basically, when a thought crosses your consciousness, for example, I'm a failure, we assume the thought is real and we become that thought. That is why we suffer. And what it's basically saying is that you have to remind yourself that you are not your thoughts. Now, it's easier said than done, but you'll know that when I do my meditations, if you've listened to me speak about the Linden method, it all connects in with each other. A thought is not a thing, and a thought is not a definite. You might think that you saw a spider. You might think that you are a cat. That's not true. So why is it when you think you're a failure or you think that you can't cope, that must be true? So you've got to remember that. So I've had this book for years and years, but if you want to delve into it, that is the book that I like to refer to. And then this one, I've not started it properly, but I love Suzanne Summers and I watch her on her Facebook page. She does lives with the family 2 or 3 times a week. And even though I'm too early for this, I wanted to learn about hormones because what I've realised is, although I absolutely have full trust in my doctors, I think they're fantastic, what you've got to realise is, for me anyway, I believe that there's a balance in everything. Traditional medicine, alternative therapies, reading into things, discovering for yourself. And I do genuinely believe that one size fits all does not work. And a lot of the times when you go to the doctors, it's not their fault, it's not anybody's fault, it's just you taking responsibility for yourself. If you go to the doctors and present a problem, quite often they say, you have this problem, this is the one size fits all solution, and it isn't. So this book is all about hormones, it's all about learning about your hormones. Yes, it's specifically about menopause and perimenopause, but beyond that, it's about learning about your hormones and how to prevent going through an absolutely horrific time as you get into your 40s, 50s, 60s. Why should you have to do that to yourself? You don't need to. So I'm looking forward to reading this. I really subscribe to Suzanne's ethos. She puts her money where her mouth is. So this is going to be my next reading. And I always have Buddha to hand. And I love my Linden methods. So I would say those are the 3 books that I constantly refer to. So that is what I've been reading over lockdown. So here's a little vlog twist, and it's a venture into an area that I never thought we would go into. It's some rosés that I've discovered this summer. So I'm not a huge drinker. I have no problem with anyone having a drink, and you know, sometimes people say they don't like the taste. I do actually like the taste. I'm just not a big drinker. So I could go months without a drink and then maybe have a glass of wine. My maximum limit is probably 2 drinks and then I'm done. So I suppose you could call me a lightweight. But sometimes when it's a lovely summer's day, a nice cold Prosecco is nice. As you know, I've just discovered gins recently. I also like whiskey, which is very Scottish, isn't it? Never used to like whiskey, but again, I think you can develop a taste for anything if you are prepared to try it and try the different styles and find what suits you. So this summer, a couple of different rosés caught my eye. The first one here is the Miraval. So that is actually the one that is by the vineyard owned or co-owned by Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, and I believe they still do. Now that one, I got it in Costco when I was there for some supplies, and it was £14. and I thought, right, I have to try it because it's theirs. I think it's about 15 or 16 out with. I think you get a slight discount in Costco. That is delicious. That is one of the nicest, if not the nicest, rosés I've ever tried. It really is something special, very smooth, very nice to drink, very easy to drink. So that was a revelation. I liked that. Then you saw on quite a few television shows, and I saw in a few newspapers that they were doing a slightly different version, Studio by Miraval, a slightly less expensive version, so that was about £12. Now, nothing wrong with that, but it just, the original Miraval's got the edge. So this one, I would say, tastes more like a standard rosé. And to be honest with you, they said when I watched them talk about it on TV that there was no difference. A few of us that tried it agreed there is a difference. We preferred the original to this one. Nothing wrong with it, just tasted like other rosés. It didn't have that specialness, it didn't have the smoothness. Now this one, this was a gift. I wanted to try Whispering Angel, couldn't find it anywhere. Always out of stock, or the staff didn't know what I was talking about. Can you see that it's nearly finished? And then my lovely brother and sister-in-law actually sent a bottle, which was very nice of them, and I finally got to try it. And it's really nice, very easy to drink. It is what I would say a typical summer drink. I actually think it could also be very nice as a spritzer, or maybe even with a little bit of fruit juice in with it. And I would say though that they spoiled me rotten because it wasn't cheap, and I don't know if you could honestly say that it was worth the price. I think for the price difference between the Whispering Angel and the Miraval, you're better value with the Miraval. So who'd have thought it, that was my first rosé wine review. So let me know what you think and what you've been drinking responsibly this summer. And to finish off the vlog with a difference, this was something that took me by surprise, but it's not a big thing. It just was something I wasn't expecting. If anyone is in the UK and they know Janice Long, she's a DJ that's been top of her game here for years. Used to watch her on Top of the Pops when I was younger. She's always been on the radio. She's brilliant. She's so easy to listen to. And she had said on Thursday that she'd had a bit of a rough day. So I was on Twitter and I just thought, oh, I'll tweet her and say, I hope you have a relaxing weekend just because your day's been so tough. And as I was listening, she ended up reading the tweet out and it took me by surprise. So I'll just let you hear it. And it's really nice, but I just let you hear it because I was not expecting in any shape or form for her to actually read it out, and it really did catch me by surprise. So here it is.
Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds and Skeleton Tree, what a wonderful track that is. And Elaine Burns on Twitter saying, listening to the show tonight and you and the family deserve a lovely, relaxing weekend. Do you know what? I will tell you, I will truly take that. It's been such a weird one, but thank you very much indeed. And as I say, Paul is normally listening to the programme, but with heart problems, he's in bed now and he's fast asleep. I can't wait to go and give him a cuddle. Do you know what? Back in the day when...
So that was it. It was just one of those things where I thought, oh, no one will even see it. But that caught me by surprise. I was like, oh, I'm accidentally on the radio. But she's an amazing DJ. She always plays music that is a mix of classic, contemporary, new stuff. And do you know what's brilliant? She makes you realise that if you do say that new music's rubbish and it's not good anymore, she changes your mind for that, because she actually puts out stuff that is so good and so new and so instantly catchy that it makes you realise that there's always good music about. So that is me signing off on the strange, weird vlog where I didn't really go many places, but I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it's relaxing, and I'll see you again soon.